Welcome everybody to another episode of Shot in the Dark. I am your host, John Siino Evil here. Let's get right down to it. AEW Dark Elevation. We're going to start with Rey Fenix with a record of 5-2, defeating Chuck Taylor with a record of 7-2. Really good opener here. I think this is the first one-on-one encounter from these two. But at the end, a little bit of a messed up finish here. We had Alex Abrahantes come out and he tries to distract Chuck Taylor on the mic, and then Pentagon comes out, Trent comes out, Orange Cassidy comes out. They get into a little bit of a scuffle, and Chuck Taylor gets a little distracted and gets rolled up by Fenix for the win. Unusual to see this in AEW with the distraction finishes. Match number 2, Ryan Nemeth with a record of 3-5 defeated Ryzen with a record of 0-2. And Pretty Peter Avalon is finally back with his crew of Nemeth, JD Drake, Cesar Bononi. They try to get involved in this match a little bit. They throws Ryzen off, and he takes the rude awakening from Nemeth, who gets the pin. Match number 3, Orange Cassidy with a record of 5-0 defeated Dean Alexander with a record of 0-1. So Alexander comes out with a bit of a new look here. He's wearing like a fur coat, sunglasses, and another quick match with Cassidy winning with the Orange Punch in about under a minute. So this has been the usual thing for Orange Cassidy, where he has really quick matches on Dark. We go backstage with Nemeth, Bononi, and Avalon when JD Drake comes in sporting his new look that he's been teasing for the last couple weeks. It's like a shiny see-through shirt, and they say that they're going to go to the club now to celebrate. Match number 4, the Acclaimed reunited finally with a record of 3-1, defeated Adrian Adonis and Liam Gray. I am very familiar with Liam Gray and Adrian Adonis from the Evolve days back in Laboom. They were part of the Skulk with AR Fox, Leon Ruff, and the rest of the gang. They were used in WWE last year during the lockdown originally, being on NXT, 205 Live, Raw, and a bunch of other shows. So good to see that they're back on TV here. And Anthony Bowens is finally back from injury. His first match since February. Castro does get the pin here on Gray after the Acclaim to fame. We go backstage to Alex Reynolds and Alan 5 Angels, hyping up their match tonight with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and Angels is even pretending to be like John Silver. Match number 5, Nick Camarado with a record of 6-4 defeated VSK with a record of 0-2. Camarado, he does this thing where he picks up and puts the steel steps right in the middle of the entrance for the Don, the Godfather himself, Tony Soprano, QT Marshall, to sit down while his goons, I guess you can say, Aaron Solo and Anthony Ogogo, surround him. Camarado destroys him quickly with an over-the-head power slam, gets the pin, and after the match, QT tells him to do it one more time. We go to this really well done, well-produced video for Legit Leyla Hirsch. She talks about growing up and being adopted, having to learn a new language and learning sports, which weren't available to her while she lived in Russia. And then she goes to school and she becomes one of the only girls on the wrestling team. And she talks about wrestling, professional wrestling in Germany and Japan, and then coming over to AEW, saying that her being 4'10" is not a disadvantage. I highly enjoyed this segment. I would check it out. I'm hoping for more future spotlights to be like this, opposed to like the sit-down interview format. I mean, those are good as well, but you can tell they put a lot of work and effort into this. Match number 6, speaking of Leyla Hirsch, Legit Leyla Hirsch and her new tag team partner, Ryo Mizunami, defeated the team of Amber Nova and Diamante. So Diamante found a new tag team partner after the departure of Ivelisse, and Hirsch makes Nova tap out quick with the cross arm breaker. After the match, Diamante goes and attacks Hirsch, but she gets saved by Mizunami. And then Tony Schiavone in commentary says that Tony Khan has already announced that next week on AEW Dark Tuesday, Legit Leyla Hirsch and Diamante will go one-on-one. We go to Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page backstage with Dasha, and they're arguing about what to call their tag team. But they're doing it like in a comedic fashion, with Scorpio Sky wanting to call the team Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, while Ethan Page wants to call the team Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and they hype up their tag team match for later on. Chris Statlander with a record of 1-0 defeated Tisha Price with a record of 0-6, and Statlander wins pretty easily with the Big Bang Theory. Match number 8, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky with a record of 3-0 defeated Alan 5 Angels and Alex Reynolds. Competitive back and forth match here, but Page gets the pin on Angels after the Ego's Edge. Big Swole and Red Velvet defeated the team of Nyla Rose and Maddie Rinkowski. Vicky Guerrero comes out like the usual, takes the mic from Justin Roberts, introduces her team, but she gives like a really condescending introduction for Rinkowski, who seems reluctant to even be in this match. Swole comes out sporting this brand new short hairstyle, and right towards the end of the match, Nyla Rose just gets tired of Rinkowski, hits her with the Nyla bomb, and her and Vicky just walk out, causing Red Velvet to get the easy pin on Rinkowski. Match number 10, Matt Sydal with a record of 4-2 defeated Joey Janela with a record of 3-1. This is the main event. Some interesting talk here on commentary with Paul White saying how he had to humble himself and go down to OVW and set up the ring after being a world champion. And Shivani is like taken aback by this info as he didn't know any of this. But great matchup here with Sydal winning in about 10 minutes with the lightning spiral. Weird that they had previously advertised a match between FTR and Terrence and Terrell Hughes as being one of the 4 main events of the show, but for whatever reason they didn't show it or explain its absence. It was promoted on the show itself as well as social media, so not sure exactly what happened there. Tuesday's AEW Dark, the Acclaimed again, with a record of 4-1 this time, defeated Fuego del Sol and D3. Castor pins Fuego after the Acclaimed to fame. Matt and Mike Sydal with a record of 2-4, defeated David Ali and Aaron Fry. Funny moment here when the crowd starts chanting Namaste for the Sydals. Matt gets the pin on Fry after a double lightning spiral. Dante Martin, still solo with a record of 7-4, defeated Andrew Palace with a 450 splash. Varsity Blondes 8-2, number 3 in the tag team division, defeated the debuting Duke Davis and Gannon Jones Jr. They're an indie tag team for the past 4 years or so, known as Main Event. Pillman gets the pin here on Davis. Brian Cage with a record of 10-2, accompanied by Hook, defeated Marty Casaus. You might know Casaus as Marty the Moth Martinez. He was from Tough Enough, and he was even a former Lucha Underground champion. So a nice little reunion here between Cage and Casaus. Nice competitive effort from Casaus, but Cage does end up winning with the Drill Claw. Quick promo here from the Hardy family office, where Matt Hardy talks about kicking the Dark Order's ass later on, and they even mention that the Butcher is sidelined with an injury. Legit Leyla Hirsch with a record of 6-3 defeated Renee Michelle. Hirsch wins easily here with a knee strike followed by an armbar submission. Lance Archer with a record of 20-6 defeated Jake St. Patrick with a black hole slam while Jake the Snake was on commentary. Dark Order backstage responded to the Hardy family office with Evil Uno doing all the talking. Diamante with a record of 4-0 defeated Rachel Rose, who's making her debut with the code red. Lee Johnson 3-1 defeated Will Allday with the Ushigoroshi. Right after the match, QT Marshall comes out and starts beating down on Johnson, but he gets saved by Dustin Rhodes, who comes out with a bull rope. Penelope Ford with a record of 4-0 defeated Ashley Dunbrowse. Nice showing here. The debuting Ashley Dunbrowse here. But Penelope Ford does win with the Fisherman Suplex. Cole Cabana with a record of 8-2 defeated Cole Carter with a record of 0-2. Very quick win here. Cabana winning with the Superman pin. Kylan King 6-3 defeated Danny Jordan 0-3. Pretty good match here from both of them. Kylan King does get the pin after the Kingdom Falls. They kind of hype up the fact that Kylan King, so ever since associating herself with Rev Veva and Big Swole, she's pretty much been winning a lot of matches here. SCU with a record of 10-0, still number 1 in the tag team division, defeated Adrian Adonis and Liam Gray 0-1. Daniels gets the pin here on Gray after the best Meltzer ever. And they're still continuing with the storyline that they lose, they will break up. And they kind of focus really quickly on Cesar Bononi and JD Drake, who are ringside. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the next storyline. Me personally, I would like to see Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page be the team that breaks up SCU, as obviously there's a story there with Scorpio Sky being a former member of SCU. And I just think that overall would be good for all 4 men to kind of have like a heated feud like that. And the main event, Dark Order, consisting of 10, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, defeated the Hardy family office, consisting of Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, and The Blade. There was a big scuffle on the outside that causes Matt Hardy and the Bunny to be ejected. And I think a big upset here, especially with the people involved, but 10 getting the big pin here. Actually, not even a pin. He made the Blade tap out to the full Nelson here. So not only did he get the win, but the Blade does tap out. Not sure what's going on with the Butcher. Hopefully he'll be back soon. NWA Powerrr, Nick Aldis, Trevor Murdoch, they have a segment in the beginning where Aldis makes a 6-man match later on with Strictly Business and a mystery partner versus Murdoch and 2 partners of his choice. And if Murdoch's team wins, he'll give him a national title shot against Chris Adonis, but if he loses, he'll have to go home for 30 days without pay. Trevor Murdoch agrees. First match, Kratos and Sal Rinauro goes to a no contest after a minute, as he just won't stop attacking Monaro. May Valentine comes out, Danny Deals comes out, Aaron Stevens, his tag team partner, even tries to come out and stop him, and then Kratos goes ringside and gets on Tim Storm's face on commentary, and Strictly Business come out, Chris Adonis and Tom Latimer, and they invite Kratos to be the 3rd man in the main event tonight, which he does agree. We get a quick segment from Slice Boogie and Jack Stain, hyping up their Falls Count Anywhere match. And a TV title match, we have the Pope versus Tyrus, but this goes to the 6:05 time limit draw, as Tyrus is choking Pope out on the outside while Austin Idol, his manager who was on commentary, tries to stop him. We got a weird segment here. I mean, weird in a way. Thunder Rosa and Camille, they come out, but they're hyping up their, I guess, upcoming feud or match, but they have people speaking on their behalf. So Melina comes out speaking for Rosa, and Taryn Terrell comes out speaking for Camille, and Melina keeps asking Camille why she spilled to Rosa, and then Rosa and Camille agree to a women's #1 contendership match for the title against Serena Deeb at a later date, and they announce that they're going to have stipulations, just like the men's did earlier, but they're going to have to reveal those stipulations next week, and then they get into a little scuffle. Chris Adonis, Tom Latimer, and Kratos defeated Trevor Murdoch, who comes out with his partners. It looks like it's going to be Aaron Stevens and Sal Renaro, but then Tim Storm comes out and takes Sal's spot. And Adonis pins Storm after the full Nelson Slam, and the show ends with Storm apologizing to Murdoch for causing the 30-day no-pay stipulation for Murdoch. So interesting here that Kratos is aligning himself for Strictly Business while he's still tag team champions with Aaron Stevens. NXT UK, Joe Coffey defeated Eddie Dennis. Primate and Tyson come out to try to on behalf of Dennis, but they get stopped by Wolfgang and Mark Coffey. And while they're brawling, Joe Coffey hits the best of the bells for the win, and after the match, all 6 men keep brawling. We see videos of Ilya Dragunov. He's pretty much watching his old matches, trying to figure out what exactly it is that makes him snap, and he realizes that the chop to the neck is what is possibly setting him off. Gallus are walking backstage when Joe Coffey and Rampage Brown. They're walking backstage, and then Joe Coffey and Rampage Brown start talking, and Joe tells Rampage that he was promised a rematch. Sam Gradwell defeated Dave Mastiff. Mastiff failed to deliver the cannonball as he was showing like a little bit of back injuries, so Gradwell deadlifts him and gets the pin. We get a quick video from Amelia McKenzie where she talks about coming to NXT UK to prove herself. And Ginny defeated Danny Luna with a roll-up. A very quick match here. After the match, Ginny kept attacking Luna with Joseph Connors kind of taunting her, but Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster come out and run them off. Amir Jordan comes in barging into Sid Scala's office asking for a rematch with Kenny Williams. But Kenny Williams has already agreed to the match, but only if the stipulation is loser leaves NXT UK, which Jordan agrees on and signs the contract. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here, who's going to leave, and who goes where. We go to a quick video from Rohan Raja, the former Gursinder Singh from Impact Wrestling. He'll be making his debut next week on NXT UK versus Teoman. Teoman comes back with a video of his own who says that he will die for his family and protect them with honor, respect, and fear. They also hype up Aoife Valkyrie versus Meiko Satomura, and Gallus versus the team of Primate, Eddie Dennis, and T-Bone, who are now going by the name of Symbiosis, I think is the name, if I'm not mistaken. We'll find out more about that on the next show. And the main event, the reuniting Moustache Mountain defeated Noam Dar and Shaw Samuels. The first time Moustache Mountain has wrestled in WWE since the Worlds Collide show back in January of 2020. Fun match. Good to see Bate and 7 teaming up again. Bate gets the pin on Samuels after an assisted Burning Hammer. On 205 Live, Tom Phillips is back on the show, joining Nigel McGuinness and replacing Vic Joseph. Arya Davari and Tony Nese defeated the Bollywood Boys, with Nese pinning Samir Singh after the running Nese. And the main event, Ashanti Theodonis defeated August Gray with a long kiss goodnight after a little bit of a distraction from Davari. On New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, we have the finals of the New Japan Cup USA 2021. First off, Team Filthy, Chris Dickinson and JR Kratos defeated Clark Connors and TJP. Kratos pins Connors after Wheelbarrow German, and then throughout and after the match, Kratos and Dickinson showed a little bit of trouble between themselves, and TJP himself seems upset with Connors on the loss. Rocky Romero defeated Wheeler Yuta, who's making his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut here. Rocky winning with a submission with an armbar. And in the main event, the finals of the New Japan Cup, and also to crown the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion. Tom Lawlor, Filthy Tom Lawlor, defeated Brody King. A really good match here. They went over 20 minutes. This is definitely the match I recommend for the week. Lawlor wins after a PK and a chokehold, causing the referee to stop the match after Brody showed some signs of hulking up, and he just passes out after that. After the match, they present the cup and title to Lawlor, who was in the ring with Dickinson and Kratos, and then Lawlor grabs the mic and calls out anybody. He says he knows how this works. Somebody comes out and has to challenge him, but nobody comes out. And then Dickinson himself grabs the mic, and he says that he'll be the first one to challenge him, and then walks out on Team Filthy. So interesting development here. On Ring of Honor, Dak Draper and Eli Isom had a really good match here. They went the full 15-minute time limit. Then they start asking for 5 more minutes, and they seem like they're given the 5 minutes, but then the lights go off, they come back on, and the returning Dalton Castle comes out with 4 boys. They do like this whole dance number, and then Castle comes into the ring, gets on the mic, and says that Ring of Honor has been missing a little bit of entertainment. He's back here to put the entertainment back. He teases recruiting both Dak and Eli just to kick them both between the legs and leave. They show highlights from Ring of Honor's YouTube week-by-week match where Beer City Bruiser defeated Joe Keys, and when he goes to hit Keys with a beer bottle, he gets stopped by some dojo guys, Eric Martin, Dante Caballero, and Kent Dixon, but Dixon attacks Caballero and Martin and aligns himself with the Beer City Bruiser. The Righteous come out, consisting of Bateman, Vita Von Star, and Dutch, and they mention the whereabouts of Vincent are unknown after his 19th anniversary match with Matt Taven, but they read a note seemingly from Vincent saying that the Righteous will be reborn, and they say the good work goes undone. And the main event, LFI, Kenny King, La Bestiado, Ring, and Rush defeated defeated Violence Unlimited, which is a team of Brody King, Chris Dickinson, and Homicide, accompanied by Tony Deppen. This match ends by DQ. 5 minutes of fast and violent action that gets stopped when Brody hits Bestia with a chair, and a Foundation come out, and all three teams brawl to end the show. Main event, Mansoor defeated Akira Tozawa, and Lindsay Dorado defeated Drew Gulak. And the WWE Network editions of the week saw Progress Wrestling Chapter 109 and ICW Fight Club. That is it for this week. You guys can catch me here next week for another episode of Shot in the Dark.